Two men, same city, same Wednesday night. Both staring at their bank accounts, and both feeling broke. One's a cleaner in Zurich, counting coins to afford the train home. The other clears $300,000 a year at a private bank, and still doesn't feel rich. This is what every pay level in Switzerland really looks like, from the working poor to 82 hidden billionaires. And by the end, you'll know exactly which one you are. By the way, here are 3 interesting facts about Switzerland's wealth. First one is that the average Swiss salary is $7,800 a month. Second one is that a standard home in Zurich costs $5.4 million. On the average Swiss salary, saving every single franc, you would need 58 years to afford it. Third is that 82 billionaires for 8.7 million people. Drop a number in the comments, 127, for the level you're at right now. We'll come back to it at the end, and I'll show you how to reach the next one.
Level 1, the survivor.
Now let's see what money really looks like here, starting at the bottom. This is the level nobody puts on a postcard. Around 743,000 people in Switzerland live below the poverty line. That's roughly 1 in 12 in the richest country in Europe. At this level, you're not earning. You're surviving on a mix of low pay and state support. The government hands over the bare minimum, just under $2,700 a month for basic living, with rent and health insurance often covered separately on top. That sounds almost generous, until you remember a single coffee here costs $5. So here's your life. You rent one room in a shared flat. The Swiss call it AWG for $700 to $900 a month. You shop only at Aldi, Lidl, or the M-Budget shelf at Migros, the cheapest line in the country. You walk past the restaurants. You don't fly anywhere. You count coins before the end of the month. And the trap here is the cruelest one of all. There's no exit door. Every franc is spoken for before it lands, and you can't save what you never touch. In the US, this would be poverty too. But here you're poor, surrounded by the most expensive wealth in the world, and you see it every single day. Now let's step up.
Level 2.
This is the working class, the people who actually keep Switzerland running. You're a cashier, a waiter, a kitchen hand, a cleaner, a farm worker. There's no national minimum wage here. Each canton sets its own, but in Geneva, it's about $24 an hour, which sounds amazing until the country quietly takes it all back. Let's do the math, because the math is the whole story. Say you take home $4,300 a month. A one-bedroom in Zurich runs $1,900 to $2,800, so rent alone can swallow half your pay before you've eaten a single meal. Health insurance is mandatory for every person in this country, another $420 to $550 a month. No opt-out. Your transit pass is another $80 to $110. Add it up, and you're left with maybe $400 to $500 for food, phone, clothes, and everything else that happens in a human life. There is no holiday. There is no emergency fund. There's just the next paycheck, and this is the rent trap. You earn too much to qualify for real estate help, but nowhere near enough to ever get ahead. This is where the working poor live, invisible in the statistics, because on paper, you have a job in the richest country in the world. That same paycheck in Spain or Portugal, and you'd be comfortable. That's not living, that's holding on. So let's keep climbing.
Level 3, the comfortable trap.
Now, the air changes a little. This is the lower middle class, the retail manager, the entry-level chef, the office admin, the delivery driver. For the first time, you can breathe. You can rent a small one-bedroom on the edge of the city, all by yourself, no flatmates. You shop at Migros instead of just the discount aisle, maybe a coupe run when you're feeling fancy. You can actually go out for lunch sometimes, $30 for a midday menu, and you don't feel guilty about it. One small holiday a year, probably inside Switzerland. It feels like you made it. And that's exactly the trap. Because this is where lifestyle creep begins. Every time the pay ticks up a little, the spending quietly rises to match it. The nicer flat, the weekend trips, eating out just because. And at the end of the year, you've earned more than ever and saved almost nothing. Comfortable is the most expensive feeling there is, because it makes you stop paying attention. In most countries, this would be solid middle class. In Switzerland, it's the floor of okay and the ceiling of I can't really save. Which brings us to the level everyone's chasing.
Level 4, the tipping point.
And it's where this whole video flips. This is it. The Swiss median is the literal middle of the country, about $7,000 a month gross, landing around $5,600 net. the teacher on roughly 8,800 a month, the nurse on 7,000, the engineer pushing 8,800. This is the level everyone thinks is comfortable. Here's why they're wrong. On paper, this is a great life, and by global standards it is. A 2-bedroom in a decent neighborhood. A car, if you really want one, though it'll cost you $700 to $1,000 a month. 2 or 3 trips a year. Skiing in winter, hiking in summer. A little going into your Pillar 3A, the Swiss private pension. Dinner out once or twice a week. So what's the problem? The problem is that this is the golden cage. $7,000 a month in Zurich feels like $3,500 anywhere else, because everything around you is priced for billionaires. You earn a salary that would make you wealthy almost anywhere in the world, and you're still watching the grocery bill. You're doing everything right. Top 50% of the country, and you still can't comfortably buy an apartment in your own city, where a square meter near the lake costs $20,000 and up. This is where people stop blaming themselves and realize the math just doesn't math. You didn't fail. You hit a ceiling most people never even see, and found another ceiling above it. Everything below this line is about survival. Everything above it is about strategy. If this is the level you're stuck at right now, good money, doing everything right, and still can't get ahead, drop it in the comments. This is the exact level where the game changes, and I want to walk through how to move up. Let's figure it out together. Because the next level is where money finally starts working for you instead of the other way around.
Level 5. The Freedom Zone.
Welcome to the top 10%, which starts around $13,900 a month gross. The pharma scientist, the banker, the insurance executive, the senior researcher. This is where the conversation in your head changes. It stops being, can I afford this, and starts being, is this the smartest move? You stop buying things and start buying freedom. A proper 3-bedroom in a good neighborhood. A premium car in the garage, the Audi, the BMW, the Mercedes. Restaurants whenever you feel like it. Maybe the GA travel card, unlimited first class on every train in the country, the quiet Swiss flex that says you've arrived. 3 to 5 real trips a year, long haul. You're maxing out your pension, you're investing, building wealth instead of just defending against poverty. But every level has its trap, and here it's the commitments trap. This is where people lock themselves in, the big mortgage, the 2-car leases, the private school fees, because the elite schools here cost as much as a salary. And suddenly someone clearing $11,000 a month is living paycheck to paycheck, just with a nicer view? The income isn't the problem, the commitments are. In most countries, this is rich. In Switzerland, it's the comfortable upper middle, the start of real freedom, not the finish line. The finish line is still 2 floors up.
Level 6. The Upper Game.
Now we're in a different world. Top management, the senior law firm partner pulling $200,000 to $400,000 a year, the surgeon, the CFO. Here money mostly stops being the limit. You've got the house in the prestige districts, Seefeld or Fluntern in Zurich, Cologne or Champel in Geneva, where the views cost more than most people's lifetimes of work. 2 cars, at least one just for fun. Business class is the default. Michelin restaurants on a normal Friday, and Switzerland has more Michelin stars per person than anywhere on Earth. Ski season in Verbier, Zermatt, Gstaad, where a chalet starts around 10 million. The feeling here is the one everyone's chasing. You finally stop thinking about money. But there are 2 traps up here, and they're sneaky. The first is the tax trap. At this income, a big chunk of every extra franc just evaporates, which is exactly why the wealthy obsess over which canton they live in. Live in Geneva, and you can lose over 43% to tax. Move to the canton of Zug, and it's closer to 22%. Same country, half the tax, and the rich know it. The second is the time trap. You can buy almost anything now, except the hours back. This is where you miss your kid's school play because you're on a call with Singapore, and you start to quietly wonder what all of it is for. In the US, this is clearly rich. In Switzerland, it's rich too, but it's the last rung before a level that operates by completely different rules.
Level 7. The 1%.
And then there's the top, the real top. Switzerland has 82 billionaires spread across 21 cities to 12 in Geneva alone, 10 in Zurich, T in tiny Lugano. Their combined fortune recently hit a record over $850 billion. Names like Klaus Michael Kuhn worth over 40 billion in logistics and John Luigi Aponte around 34 billion in shipping. At this level, salary is irrelevant. This is pure capital. The villa on Lake Geneva starts at 10 million. The chalet in Gastad can run to 70 million and beyond, with a heated pool, a spa, and a price per square meter that could buy a normal family a house. Shopping happens on Bahnhofstrasse in Zurich, officially the most expensive shopping street in the world, where Patek Philippe and Hermes are just the corner shops. Caviar in Gstaad runs about $7,000 a kilo, as the helicopter beats the traffic to the slopes. And here's the part that ties the whole country together. Why are they all here? Because Switzerland is built for them. Low taxes in cantons like Zug and Schwyz, political stability that never wavers, and banks holding $5.5 trillion in assets for the world's wealthy. This entire country is, in a way, the world's safe. But even up here, there's a trap: complacency, the assumption that it lasts forever. The ones who stay at the top aren't the ones who spend the most. They're the ones who turn their money into things that make more money, quietly, while they sleep. Which is weirdly the exact same lesson as the very first level, just with more zeros. So here's the truth that runs through every single one of these levels. The cleaner felt broke, and the banker felt broke. The person on the median salary felt broke, and honestly, some of the rich feel it too. Because the numbers were never really the point. Wealth isn't your salary. Wealth is the gap, what you earn, minus what you spend. A man scraping by who somehow saves 100 a month is doing something the millionaire who spends every franc never learned to do. The franc you keep is worth more than the franc you earn. So look at the number you dropped in the comments at the start. That's where you are. Now, the only question that actually matters: which level do you want to be, and how wide is your gap right now? Because the paycheck is not the scoreboard, the gap is. If this changed how you see money even a little, hit subscribe and turn on notifications.
Also, let me know in the comments which country I should cover next. I'll tackle the most liked comment in the coming days.
I'll see you in the next one.